hour, we'll break in immediately because you need to know now. This is Dayton's News and Talk, WHIO.
It's time for something different.
There's been enough thinking.
Don't bring up politics. Don't bring up religion.
Don't be so serious about everything.
This aggression will not stand, man.
Let's just chill, huh?
Let's have some fun.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
When I eat chips, I make sure that I dip in the dippy dip, which is salsa. When I dip chips in the dippy dip, yes, the dippy dip is always salsa. Salsa's the dip that I dippy dip with my chippy chip. I love salsa, but there's no salsa left, so I can't dip with my chippy chip without dip.
Wasn't sure how that one ended. It is Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. We got an abbreviated show. We got UD basketball. Tonight, pregame starts at 6. And the Flyers are at the UD Arena getting ready to host the St. Louis Billikens. Tip-off is at 7 with Larry Hanskin. And out of the chute right now, I got my hands on a pair of tickets for tonight's game and parking passes for the big extravaganza. If you'd like to go, be the sixth caller, 937-957-1290. And I'm going to hook you up with a pair of tickets for tonight's game and a parking pass, so you can go in style. Yeah, just be the sixth caller. Now, you got to go tonight. I mean, that's the deal. It's the game. Starts here in a couple of hours. So blow off all your plans that you had if you want to go. It's a hot ticket. It's a hot ticket. 937-957-1290. It is National Tortilla Chip Day. And I'm going to go around the horn here. Let me get my music here going. Let's see. Ron, let me start with you. So here's the scenario, Ron, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You go to a party, and you go in, and there's a big bowl of tortilla chips.
Okay.
And they got 4 options. They got guac, they got queso, they got pico, and they got salsa. So which dip do you first dip your chip?
It's got to be, boy. I like the queso. I'd probably go queso.
Queso,
yeah.
You think?
I think so.
Now, I was doing some research on this earlier, and I didn't really realize there was a difference between pico and salsa. Did you know that?
No, I did not, actually.
So pico is like the chunky vegetables that are, just chopped up and nice and meaty, kind of hefty.
Sure.
And salsa is kind of the same deal, but it's more emulsified.
More sauce-like.
Saucy. Yes, it's more saucy. Now, Ian, let me ask you, if you go to a party and there's a big bowl of tortilla chips and you got 4 choices, you got guac, you got queso, you got pico, and you got salsa, which dip are you dipping your chip in first?
Out of all of those?
Yeah.
If there's
those are the options. Those are the only options.
I think I'm gonna go with guac. I'm a big guac fan.
Guac, yeah.
Big guac fan.
Will Harris down in the traffic center.
Yep.
Same question to you. Guac, queso, pico, or salsa?
Well, now that you've explained what pico is, I would not have known that, but I think I would try that. I like the crunchy, meaty, thick, kind of chewy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would go with guac. Guac would be my choice. I love guacamole, and now I will say if it's not freshly made, then probably not. I'd probably go with the queso, for sure. But if I know that it's homemade guac, that's what I'm going with. So maybe tonight you will enjoy some tortilla chips with whatever you might be having. 937-957-1290 is the number, but I think we gave away the tickets already for the UD game, right? Yeah. But don't worry, folks. If you want to win some prizes coming up here shortly, I've got another opportunity to win tickets to the Price is Right Live, which is going to be happening at the Schuster Center on Sunday, March 15th. So before 6 o'clock tonight, we will give away those tickets. We got some mail.
Pack up the yellow jacket. It's time for mail call.
Master, I have mail for you.
The fan mail.
Oh, I'm a big fan of yours.
The mail is here.
Your hate mailbox is full.
If you want to shoot me an email, it's eveningedgetodd@gmail.com. So last night on the show, we were talking about the fact that down in Florida this past weekend, they had the Florida games, the Florida Man games. And the Florida Man, and they also had women in the competition. They were a variety of skill challenges, I guess you could call them, where Florida men and Florida women are sort of, I would call it maybe reenacting, if you will, certain headlines from Florida man, Florida woman stories. For example, one was evading arrest. You have to run with a catalytic converter and avoid the cops. You have to throw an alligator through a window, stuff like that. Crazy, crazy stuff like that. And I was musing on there. It's like, well, we could do something like this with Ohio Man. What sort of competitions could we have? Well, somebody called in, and I thought this was a great idea, that it would be some sort of orange barrel slalom where they would have to race through a course where there's not only the orange barrels that we're all very familiar with, but also avoid potholes and avoid houses jumping out in front of you in traffic. Because, as we know, that happens quite a bit. I suggested that the vehicle that they drive in is a little go-kart, but it has a Kia logo on it, because those are the cars that are most often stolen, which is a very Ohio Man thing. But then I got this email, and I love this idea. This is from Melinda in Riverside. Hey, Todd, I saw this video today on Facebook and thought about your topic last night of Ohio Man competitions. Maybe this should be one of the events. Giving credit to the guy who hid in the trash cart in Huber Heights yesterday. Yes, we talked about that as well. There's video out there. It's all over the news locally. And in fact, I just saw News Center 7's Mike Campbell. That guy who hid in the trash can was in court today. This guy, I don't know what his story was. I don't know why he was running from the cops, but he's never going to live this down. In 10, 15 years, when he goes to a class reunion, wherever he went to school, weren't you the guy that hid in the trash can? I think that was you, right? Yeah. Anyway, maybe the Ohio Man competitors could race down a hill on the back of the trash carts. You could even have people decorate the cans. So here's the video that she sent, and it's on my Facebook if you want to go see it, but I'm going to try to describe it. So basically, they lean the trash can over on its side so the wheels are in the back and on the ground. And then they straddle it like they're on a bucking bronco or a bull. And they lift it up just a little bit in the front, and it starts going down the hill. It starts sliding down the hill on its wheels, much like a soapbox. But it takes some skill because there's only two wheels on that thing. So you got to hold it up just a little bit so there's no friction on the front of the can, but the wheels are rolling. I love that idea. That would be a great idea. And then we could incorporate the orange barrel slalom, avoiding the potholes, and the houses bouncing out in front of you in traffic. Melinda, you are the listener of the day. I love that idea. That is such a great idea. And I was thinking, what road could we have them go down? Sometimes if I have to run downtown to the post office after the show, I will go home down 5th Street, and that breaks off into Burkhart. And I take Burkhart up a big hill up to Smithville. And that road is covered in bumpiness. There were more potholes, but I think they did actually try to fill some of them. But it's still very, very bumpy. But I love that idea. We could have them race down that hill on Burkhart. And if they swerve to the right, they crash into the woods. They swerve to the left, they'll crash into buildings. But very nice suggestion, Melinda. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Who, Todd? Okay, yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Queso's a good one. Yeah, I love queso. Queso by the spoonful or the ladle. The ladle. Let me see. Catch me up. Let's see. Clinton, I missed whatever you had going on today. I guess maybe you talked about it yesterday. What happened? Oh. Well. Interesting. Well, I hope you're doing okay. Hey, William. Oh, that's cruel, man. Cruel. You can't be making fun of Clinton because he got neutered. Come on, man. That is just cold, cold. Oh, well. Lee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Flyers trying to win 4 in a row tonight. We'll have the latest at 5:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
You have to admit that he is a lot of fun.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Why don't you go inside and get yourself a tasty snack?
Want a bite? They're real tasty.
How you get so big that you fold up this guy?
It was tasty.
Delicious and tasty.
When you're hungry, everything looks tasty.
That was tasty little hors d'oeuvre.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. And you know I love talking about food because it's one of the things we can all sort of agree on. We may not agree on politics or religion or sports teams, but we all love a really good meal or snack, a tasty meal, a tasty snack. I saw this story today, and I have to tell you that I'm terribly embarrassed and ashamed of the fact that I live just down the street in Riverside from Narco Burger, which is on Spinning Road. And I have never been to Narco Burger. And just by chance, I got a friend request today from the guy who owns Narco Burger. Now, I think it's some pretty clever marketing on his part because this story came out that I'm about to get to. That Narco Burger is, they announced that they're going to be expanding to two new locations. One is in Kettering on Bigger Road, which they expect to open at the beginning of March. So just, next week or so, maybe a couple weeks. And then later in the spring, early summer, there's going to be another location on Wilmington Avenue in Dayton. No specific date on that mentioned. But I've never been to Narco Burger. So I think he emailed me today knowing this was going to be out there, hoping that he would get my attention. And Tim, you in fact did. So thank you for your email and your friend request. And to make amends for the fact that I haven't been to Narco Burger, I talked to the missus, and following tonight's show, which, by the way, ends early because we got UD basketball tonight. I'm going to be swinging by Narco Burger and trying one of their smash burgers for the first time. But I'll tell you what, every time I go by there, it's packed. It's packed. So looking forward to it, and I'm going to make good. I can't believe that I haven't. It's right there.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Spell it out.
T-O-double-D.
Double-L. S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
I'm watching it. That is clever. Dude, they are filling you up. Emotional support wieners. I love that. Where did you get the emotional support wieners? I think I need some. I mean, I haven't been neutered, but I could certainly appreciate some emotional support wieners. I'm doing Uber, and as you were talking about Narco Burger, I just got offered an order for Narco Burger, but I didn't have. Oh, no tip. What? Lame. Thank you, Leslie. I love that. Oh, you can also buy it used. What? I just saw that, Leslie. Thank you. I'll show you. I'll show you, Ron. Emotional support hot dogs. Though if I had made this, I would have put wieners on it. Wieners is a funnier word than hot dogs. Emotional support wieners. Yeah, I love smash burgers. Oh.
If breaking news, traffic, or severe weather happens anytime this hour, we'll break in immediately because you need to know now. This is Dayton's News and Talk, WHIO.
Don't hesitate to call.
You call me. You better call me.
Damn it, get me a phone.
Call me on my radio.
I'm gonna call you.
You got him on the radio?
You won't make a simple phone call?
What is wrong with you?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. Coming to the Schuster Center on Sunday, March 15th. It's The Price is Right Live. And a couple of weeks ago, I got a chance to talk to Todd Newton. He is the host, the longtime host of The Price is Right Live, the touring show. They're going to be at the Schuster, as I just mentioned. And we were talking about in our interview, and I wanted to play this back, how iconic The Price is Right is here in the United States.
I've said many times over the years, so many times that I'm not even sure if I'm the first person who said it, but I think you put The Price is right up there with baseball and apple pie as far as being about as American as you can get. It's a piece of history, a piece of pop culture.
Well, and America is all about shopping. So right. when you got a show that's just all about shopping and pricing games and just fun and excitement, how can you go wrong?
That is true, and it's funny. You know, I don't normally go back this far in the history of the show, but the original concept of The Price is Right was developed by an incredible producer. He's no longer with us, by the name of Bob Stewart. He also created Password and To Tell the Truth and $64,000 Pyramid, so many other great shows. But this show concept came to him when he was walking down Broadway in New York City in the 40s, early 50s, and the pawn shop dealers right around the Times Square area vying for tourist attention and business. One guy got the idea to go out on the sidewalk with his products, and instead of just slapping price tags on things, he started having people bid on them. And Bob Stewart kind of took that and finessed it and nurtured it, and here we are well over half a century later.
Well, that show has all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. It's got the bells, the whistles, literally and figuratively. And just a ton of excitement. And that's what you're going to be bringing to the Schuster Center on March 15th. That's that sort of energy that you see on TV Monday through Friday here on WHIO TV in Dayton. That's what's going to be on stage that night at the Schuster.
That's absolutely right. You know, Bob Barker himself created this live version of The Price is Right 25 years ago. This is our 25th anniversary.
Wow.
And I got to say, this tour is the biggest and best we've had in many, many years. New games, bigger prizes. It's pretty awesome. But Mr. Barker created this show, in his words, to take a little bit of Hollywood out to folks that, because of work obligations, family obligations, may not have the chance to come out to Hollywood and play on television. And what started off as just a little 2-week run in a tiny lounge at a casino in Reno, Nevada, has led to this incredible North American tour. We get to do about 160 shows a year. But yeah, it's the same games, same prizes, same music, same energy, as you mentioned, same excitement that you've enjoyed on television for decades.
And I would imagine that the atmosphere at these live shows is probably even a little more heightened than what it might be on the Hollywood version that you see every day, because I've never been to The Price is Right in Hollywood, but when you look at that studio, it seems vast, but I know that it's not. Whereas you come to some place like the Schuster Center, this is a huge environment. You know, that studio in Hollywood is not real big.
Well, the Bob Barker studio in Hollywood was 330 people. A few years ago, they moved to Glendale, California, and I think it sits about 250 now. But you're right, Todd. When we go to places like the Schusters, I mean, we're talking 2,000, 3,000 people. But the great thing is, number one, we give more people in the audience the opportunity to come down to Contestants Row or to get up on stage and spin the big wheel and win prizes than they're able to do on television. We're not limited to 1 hour.
Yeah.
We call 4 new people down to Contestants Row after every game, whereas on the TV show, they just bring 1 person down. We do that to accommodate as many people as possible. We give prizes away in between the games, and all of our contestants are chosen completely at random. You know, Bob Barker insisted on that. He said it shouldn't matter where you're sitting, how much you paid for your ticket, how far you drove to get there. Everybody should have a level playing field. So complete random drawings. Everybody has the same shot. And it's nonstop excitement from the moment that curtain goes up.
So let me ask you this. I mean, you've not just hosted this Price is Right live. You've done many other game shows, Whammy, the all new Press Your Luck, Family Game Night, a lot of different shows. What, in your mind, really makes a great game show host? Because that was one of the things when I was growing up, I was kind of interested in, because I loved media. I loved television. I loved radio. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And I always thought, like, maybe the path not taken, I could have been a really good game show host. What makes a great game show host?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I grew up watching Bob Barker during the day and Johnny Carson at night.
100%. Yeah, I'm there with you.
Before I knew what the term host even was, I just recognized the fact that these guys were entertaining millions of people, what I assumed to be millions of people, by being themselves, or maybe a slightly exaggerated version of themselves. I remember the way Johnny Carson could make my father laugh like no one else could.
Yeah.
And I found that really intriguing, magnetic almost. And like you, I wanted to get into the entertainment industry somehow. I come from a long line of radio people. I started my career in radio. I love it. I miss it. There's something magical about being behind that microphone and doing everything live. And to a certain extent, game show hosting is like that. You know, there are, even if you're hosting a game show on television, you can't rework the outcome of a game. Legally, you can't do that.
Right,
way the game goes is the way it goes. And when you factor in doing it in front of a live audience, well, it's, you know, you have to multiply that excitement 100-fold. So, like you said, I've been very fortunate to do many shows on television, but in 2001, Bob Barker was kind of my mentor. You mentioned Whammy. We were produced by the same people that produced The Price is Right. And Bob was very kind to kind of take me under his wing and teach me the intricacies of this. And even I was even more fortunate when the live show came along and he bestowed this position upon me. I mean, he changed my life.
This is going to sound like a strange question, but you mentioned that you have a background in radio. So sometimes I will have dreams where I'm in the studio and everything goes haywire. Like the mic doesn't work, or I can't get the sound or the phones to work, or, and I'm basically sitting there, not literally in my dream, but sitting behind the mic naked, and everybody can see what's happening. Everybody can hear what's happening, but it's just a disaster. Do you have nightmares like that as a host of The Price is Right Live, where you're on stage and you've got contestants and everything goes berserk?
We've had a lot of things happen, obviously, in 25 years. We've had women go into labor on stage. We've had the power in the theaters go out. We've had technical difficulties. But, I think that people like taking a peek behind the curtain.
Right.
They like seeing how it's done. I tell people at the beginning of the show, you're going to see things tonight that you would not see on TV because they edit them out. But when the games come out, we've got 5 crew members pushing those games out. You're going to see those guys.
Yeah.
You're going to see things being repositioned and reworked. And so just, imagine you're at a studio taping and this is what it would be like. And I think people like that accessibility. God willing, and the creek don't rise, we don't have anything too detrimental occur,
right.
But you got to be able to roll with it like you do on your show. I mean, it's live. Things are going to happen, and that's what makes it true and authentic.
Yeah.
We live in a world where everything is so polished now. I don't like that. I don't like too much of a shine. I like a little bit of grit in there.
So lastly, the one thing I wanted to mention is the very first line of the bio that they sent me. I love this. They don't make showmen like Todd Newton anymore. And this is a weird thing. But when I was in Cub Scouts, I don't know if you were ever a scout, but you'd have to get all these little badges and do these activities. And we'd have these little ribbons that we would wear on our shoulder, and that we would tack those particular badges or little pins on there. My favorite badge that I ever got was the Showman Award. And I still have it, and it's a little silver guy that looks like a showman. So when I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, this guy. I know what this is about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
I just I never got into this to be rich or to be famous, Todd. And just talking to you, I think you're kind of the same. We do it because it makes people happy. My grandmother was a comedian during the vaudeville era. My grandfather on the other side was an old AM radio guy. And I just remember being young and watching how people reacted to them. And they always had a story or a way to craft a story. Nothing ever seemed boring or mundane to them, and I wanted to live my life like that. And through The Price is Right Live, we get to go out there every night and make people happy. We have the benefit of not being like a band. We don't have to worry about our voices not being there one night, or being a comedian and our jokes falling flat. I mean, this is The Price is Right. It's got over half a century worth of proven special moments. And Bob Barker always said that. He said, this show means something to people.
Yeah.
Give them that experience. Let them feel whatever emotion the show invokes. They're the ones who made it. They're the ones who keep the lights on. And I think about that every night before I walk through those doors.
Well, it's going to be a special night on Sunday, March 15th at the Schuster Center, downtown Dayton. You can get tickets for this at DaytonLive.org. And Todd Newton, it's been a really great pleasure chatting with you. I love your work, and I love your energy, and hopefully I'll be able to make it out there that night. And I'd love to meet you.
I feel the very same way, Todd. This has been a real pleasure, and I thank you for the time. And Dayton's always a great, great show. And please do come out, and we look forward to seeing folks. It's a very special part of the country, and we're going to make it a very special night for you.
If you would like to go, be the sixth caller right now at 937-957-1290. And we'll hook you up with a pair of tickets to The Price is Right Live, happening at the Schuster Center March 15th.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Who, Todd? Okay, yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Zach, I've heard that. I've heard that the flu strand out there is miserable. Mary's getting over not the flu, but everybody in her office has a sinus infection. So she recovering from her surgery. Then she got a 24, I wouldn't call it a 24-hour virus, but she got a little bug at a dance recital that she went to. And then she got a sinus infection. This poor girl, she's getting her butt kicked. I, on the other hand, have managed to stay well. So knock on wood. I have not, William. I've not had. Is it QP? Is that how you pronounce it? QP or Coopy? QP? Queepy? Queepy? Weepy like Queepy like Weepy? Or creepy? QP. Huh. Feel like there was one in Dayton. Wasn't there a QP Burgers in Dayton? QP. Okay. Feel like I remember seeing QP on the top of a little diner in downtown Dayton. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought there was some in Dayton. Was it near the cannery? I want to say there was one near the cannery on the corner, and then across the street on the corner across from the library. Was that the White Tower? I forget. I don't remember. I know the buildings are still there, and I think one of the buildings actually still says White Tower.
From the birthplace of aviation, WHIO Dayton, WHIO FM Pleasant Hill.
Nobody likes to be told what to think. Our news is right down the middle. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO. Depend on it.
Warm heading into the weekend, then cold again next week. We'll have the latest at 6. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
So what's wrong with having a little fun, huh?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Here come the flyers. Here come the flyers.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. We got UD basketball tonight. The Flyers are hosting the St. Louis Billikens. And tip-off is at 7 o'clock at UD Arena. Thanks for listening tonight. We'll be back tomorrow just after 5. Have a terrific Tuesday night, and go Flyers.
What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a...
All right, everybody. Have a great night. See ya.